Hello, hi, good morning. So, in this 27th episode, idugtong natin, i-continue natin yung ah, hindi natin tatapos kahapon, i-continue natin ngayon yung spreading the good news, spreading the news. Sige, start natin. Factor number 2, Zacchaeus and Jesus from Luke verse 19, 1 to 10. Jesus was passing through Jericho. Jesus traveled all around the area, and on this trip, he was passing through this ancient city. He was always interacting with the crowds around him, so we listen from any teaching that he may give or share. So there were many crowds there. The crowd contained the curious and the critical. Halo-halo yon. The serious and the skeptical. Zacchaeus made an extraordinary effort just to see Jesus. Para lang makita si Jesus. The crowd was so overwhelming that he had to run, had no choice but to run and climb a tree to get a glimpse of him. So this was not terribly dignified thing to do, but tells us how desperate Zacchaeus was. Jesus then stayed at Zacchaeus' house, or Zacchaeus' house. This was an unexpected result of the extraordinary effort he made. He was pleased to host Jesus and his disciples. That experience with Jesus totally changed the life of Zacchaeus. Few words are recorded in the exchange between them, but clearly having a proximity to Jesus changed the entire course of his life. Remember, Zacchaeus, as a tax collector, he was considered a traitor and a sinner by everyone. That's why he gets isolated from the crowd and he lives alone. For sure, maybe he is also lonely. Okay? So because of that, anong tawag yan, trademark sa buhay niya sa Chaos, dahil nga ang nature ng niyang work is a tax collector, automatically, yon ang judgment ng lahat. Because he was doing this, collecting our taxes, it's presumed he betrayed our nation, serving the Romans, and now he is collecting taxes pa for the state, for the Romans. So hindi lang they were betrayed, but also they seem to make a conclusion or judgment that Zacchaeus is a public sinner. So, Zacchaeus and Jesus, tuloy-tuloy natin. Reasons not to associate with Zacchaeus. Well, physical lang itong una. Number one is his appearance. He was not a dominating physical presence. Kasi pandak sa Zacchaeus eh. There was nothing in the appearance of man to draw you to him. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya attractive. Brutal ba? Totoo yun. His occupation, the chief tax collector, as I've said a while ago, he was viewed by his countrymen as a traitor, at the same time as a public sinner serving the Roman soldiers or the Roman Empire. Key reasons we need to associate with Zacchaeus. Kailangan din. Why? Because of his eagerness for the gospel. He's desperate to listen to the words of Jesus. Number two, his readiness for a new life. That very moment na nagkakaroon siya ng change, coming into his senses, na andun yung readiness niya for a new life, or to listen to Jesus, deep inside, within sa chaos, meron na silang na-anticipate na magbabago, kailangan talaga siya for a while. Coffee muna ko. So there was that eagerness and readiness for him to change to a new life. Yan yung sinasabi nating transformation of our lives into the life of Jesus. And thirdly, his repentance. Okay? So andun yung eagerness to listen, andun yung readiness for a new life, and then yung sense of repentance coming from Zacchaeus. Looking back into his life in the past, he was able to also recognize his weaknesses. And then he came to himself and confront all those things and repented. And Jesus smiles at him. Okay? Life's lesson. Zacchaeus teaches us that when you make a solid effort to experience Jesus, you are rewarded. It means seeking Him with all your heart and doing everything He would have you do. One, don't make a judgment based on appearance on people. Far too often we make a judgment about someone based on how someone looks or acts. This makes us important to help. But this makes us important to help someone change their lives. It's a no-no actually to like us mga ministers, whether ordained or lay. It's not good to make judgment on people based on their appearance. Dahil pangit siya, wala siyang pera, mahirap siya, bawal siya sa atin. Oh my, OMG, bawal na bawal yon sa atin. Why? Because it projects a total, it projects a kind of uh, totally opposite of what Jesus wants us to do with our lives as ministers, as disciples of the Lord. Number two, don't make a judgment based on reputation. Yung bang narinig mo lang, then somebody wants to go to participate and go active into the ministry of the church, and then dahil may narinig kayo hindi maganda coming from other people about this person, we turn him down. Hindi din magandang practice yun. Dahil ang tawag niya ngayon is chismis. Chismis. And one of the Ten Commandments, yung pinagbabawal yun. Don't accuse your neighbor. Ano ba yun? Tawag niyan. And bear false witness against your neighbor. Yan na nga, sa Ten Commandments, I've said, those that time, na kailangan i-renew, i-reflect natin ulit dahil nga mga pangyayari ngayon talagang lahat we're hindi lang not following, but we're destroying the Ten Commandments. That's a great need for us to really renew ourselves to that. Okay. Three, practice looking into a person's heart. Heart. Yan, heart, sabi ng mga kabataan. Sa bago, heart. Can you see a person's heart? God will help you with that. The closer we follow Jesus, the more we are able to see someone's heart. Four, focus on seeking and saving the lost. That's the theme here. Focus on seeking and saving what was lost. We are surrounded by people who don't know or follow Jesus. I am convinced that the very best life comes to us when we follow Him. Are you? I want to help people find that way, find that particular life. When we do that, God changes lives and we become participants in the process of transformation. Okay? If I would summarize this episode, all those processes na dapat mangyayari sa atin related by the stories of these two characters in the gospel, those are transformation. In short, we call them, describe them as discipleship. The next chapter, the next episode, I will be speaking more on discipleship in the context of our mission of the church. Okay? So, don't forget this caption. Galing yan sa akin. Good news are not kept. They should be shared and spread to others. These are two important stories in the gospel today, and many more. Ito lang ginamit ko dahil these are important encounters of people on the first place who were totally away from the Lord. Because of this encounter with Jesus, opening their hearts to the presence of the Lord, those experiences transform them and they themselves become disciples of Jesus. So, my dear friends, take your coffee again. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. Good morning, magandang buhay. See you tomorrow.